This video is a special broadcast in memory of Sir Ken Robinson, who sadly died last year, but he done a really famous speech on our school's killing creativity. And creativity is something that I've been using, investigating, researching recently. Now, I've just watched his TED Talk, and I think nothing much has changed from when Ken done a talk about, I think it was about 10 years ago, around about 2006. So it's quite more than 10 years ago. Education is failing. Okay, I don't think there's enough creativity in the curriculum, and I've been saying this for 2 years now. Yes, I'm a former educator. I've been in the mud. I've taught across all sectors, and it's now evident with the growth of the self-education market that the system is failing. We're having to, give our students all this wisdom to say you must go to university, or it's apprentice. There's only two options. I don't think that's quite good enough, and I think that when you look closely around, even some entrepreneurs are saying you must do a STEM subject. STEM is important, science is important, maths is important, English is important, but there is no, if you ask me, curriculum itself. Creativity, sorry, should be on the curriculum, a unit on its own. And it's quite evident in the Global Skills Gap report that students, when they leave university, they go to work for companies, they lack creativity skills. Now, can you teach creativity? You can create conditions in a classroom like behind me where creativity is, there's some really great, really aspirational students that I've taught in schools. I've been in the picture in the back, and I've been seeing some amazing pupils here in the UK, as I'm sure there is across different nations. Creativity is an independent skill in the mind where we think, we brainstorm, and that fuels innovation, because we know, reference point, climate change, that creativity is needed more now than ever, especially post-pandemic. So in memory of Ken, I wanted to boost and show this video and give my thoughts and analysis to my thoughts about the curriculums that are going on in schools at the moment and colleges. Some universities are doing really well in terms of changing the curriculum and making it the assessment different. But that's the problem in society we have, I think, is that we are instructing and disciplining our pupils too much to say, right, you must go to university, you must become an academic. It's too rooted in our school systems, and it creates, right, because not everyone wants to go to university, and it's even harder more now because of COVID-19. The mental health has gone up. Students are feeling a lot of stress and anxiety, where some universities are not treating their students very well. But also we have to remember things are more different now, because actually pupils have to stay, certainly in the UK, in education for an extra 2 years. So until you're 18, you have to stay in education. It's a lot more harder. The stresses are a lot more higher. And I know that sadly there have been some suicide deaths in universities, and this is not a blame game, but what I am saying is that from the school system to the further education system, creativity is not fueled enough in all different classes. I know that there's some fantastic teachers out there. I used to be one. But the problem is when we drive students and we say, look, maths, English is important, and they are. You need those skills, their life skills, to read and write. It's very important, and you can branch off and increase that skill when you go to university. Like I did, I was dyslexic. Amazingly, I got a first degree. Amazingly, I became a teacher. That's wonderful. But what really got me there wasn't my academic ability. It was my creative mode. It's my creative capacity to think outside the box. Yes, I went to all my lectures. Yes, in school, I struggled so much because back then in the late 80s, dyslexia itself wasn't highly recognised. So schools are failing in a sense that they're not really recognising that pupils have a lot more to offer rather than just go to university. Are we putting enough entrepreneurship in school systems? I know we're talking about funding, but at the end of the day, the statistics are coming through. Less and less people are going to university. More entrepreneurs, even Tony Robbins is saying in the US that the school systems are failing because we're in debt. We don't have all the skills. There's evidence out there, reference point, global skills gap report, okay, that students are not leaving with the right skills. I've based my whole research in the last 2 years on this very question. How can we train, how can we increase performance for students? And obviously when they go into companies, can we increase performance for the people already in companies? Because if you're an L&D professional, reference point towards maturity, we're spending too much money, or have done in America certainly, and the UK, on e-learning, which is not the right answer. Creativity is needed now more than ever, and it's not happening in schools. And I'm not saying that it's not championed, it's not facilitated, there's not enough creativity in the lessons, but the evidence is clear from the data that those skills are not coming through. Now, I would love to say I have all the answers. I don't. I think one of the best things we can do is re-evaluate our curriculum, certainly in the UK and the US, to see if we can support students more and give them more of a boost, even though it's COVID-19, even though I know how much pressure and hard work goes into creating each individual lesson. Our schools failing students, they're not failing, but it's clear and evident, like I said, the data is there. Creativity is not being fueled enough. And when students leave university and they go and work in a company, they're lacking leadership skills, they're lacking creativity, which fuels innovation. They're lacking, like I said, leadership, team working, which is another skill. And these have all been documented and evidenced. And in actual fact, some of the skills our students are saying that they underrepresent, that they think, they overthink on the skills that are not needed, okay, which is quite bad in a sense. So I think the answer is to change our curriculum and give students more of an entrepreneurship feel to the whole syllabus. These are just my thoughts, but I think that the time now has come to really step out and help our children's children, because they're going to be here. They're going to be the ones to solve the real problems in the future. We've started to begin to try and work towards a better climate, but can we reverse it? I don't know. Things like climate change and other like overpopulation and shortage of houses will only be answered through creativity. So these are just my thoughts, feelings, and analysis in memory of Ken, who really kick-started this conversation over, 10 years ago now, when he first did that TED Talk, very famous TED Talk. If you haven't watched it, I'll put a link down there so you can watch it. But we need to have a conversation now, certainly with the UK government. We need to reevaluate our skills process, and it's our skills development. And because we're all talking about upskilling in companies, but that shouldn't be the case. It should be skills should be generated more so in their education systems, because we become born in this world. We start school around 5, from 5 until 18. That's a lot of years to be in education, and by the end of it, if we don't have leadership, creativity, innovation, team working, it begs to differ. The system isn't working, and I'm not saying we have a bad education system. Certainly the UK and US got a great education system, but the evidence there that creativity is not happening as it should be. I think the curriculum needs re-evaluating, and hopefully we get there in some form. I will do my best with my brand, Learning for You. We create digital learning resources to help people learn, aspire, and make education more affordable, because going to university is very expensive in today's market, and it shouldn't be. Okay, so these are just my thoughts, feelings, analysis. Leave your comments down below, because education is important. We need to talk about it. We need to plan for it in the private and the public sector, and any resources we pump out, especially what I do on LinkedIn, is for people to learn and progress in life. And all I want to do is get better at providing the best resources. But it does start with the government. Does start with what kind of education curriculum we are providing students, and also what kind of learning curriculum we provide in companies, in corporate America, in corporate UK, in corporate India, okay, or any actual business. What training and development are we actually fueling? What creativity are we inspiring the new people, the new starters, especially on the hybrid model, especially on virtual training and learning, which is a new development for a lot of businesses. I do understand that, but I think we need to move faster because sadly, these students, this generation have had it hard, especially with COVID-19. And I think we need to really step up and support them. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. It'll be great to hear some feedback. And if you're on LinkedIn, please do leave me a comment down below or connect with me. And if you want to collaborate to make better learning resources worldwide, please do direct message me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon.